the Ride the High Country is Sam Peckinpah. He came from the family because, Sam was a nut, but he was a talented nut. But he didn't fit too well with the world because his brother or his father was Chief Justice of the California Supreme Court.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, all of them with heavy education, and Sam comes along making motion pictures. So they weren't sure they were going to have him committed, and should have. But Peckinpah had the greatest sister that God ever put on earth, who was married to Walter the Friendly Bear, and she kept him straight. Oh, what a lovely lady. But Sam, what do I say? Sam didn't realize how talented he was. But he'd be committed if he were alive today. He's crazy.
Yeah.
But talent, I think the best one for Westerns once Mr. Ford left us. And if you look at his stuff, he takes took a standard operating Western and made it something better. Ride the High Country's been made 34,000 times.
Sure.
And I hate to watch the picture because I'll sit there and cry like a baby when it's over. And nothing I can do about it. I've tried. Sam, I just, how can you say it? He was crazy, but he was crazy like a fox in a lot of ways. But his sister kept him straight, and so did Walter the Friendly Bear, who was in stocks. Walter, such a nice man. He was lucky to have a backup of a family. Otherwise, he could never have made the pictures that he made.
Mm-hmm.
They saw to it that he got through them. But it's still like we did Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid.
One of my favorite films of all time.
Okay.
Love it.
Well, but Slim and I are going down in the plane. We didn't start with them. And they're paying me a fortune. And when I told my agent what I wanted, he said, you're insane. They're not going to pay that money for you. I said, just what I want, tell them. And they paid it. So now we are arriving. We get there, and when that's the case, when they're paying you that kind of money, when you hit the airport, there's a limousine with your makeup lady or man, with the wardrobe person, and you drive to location, and when you get there, you step out. You're made up, you're in wardrobe, you do what you've got to do, and you undress while you go back to the airport, and you're through.
Mm-hmm.
They've stayed within a budget. That's all you can do. Well, we got there, and 7 days later, I hadn't even heard from Sam. And I finally got a call. They said, "Can you do me a favor?" "You bet." "Would you go help him with wardrobe?" Because he liked the wardrobe that I did. So I went and did the wardrobe. I'm making more money than the star, for Christ's sake. And I'm helping with wardrobe. And they says, "Okay, come out." And you know how it is? I think it probably have happened that someone that you know very well, that you really like, is really ill, and you may not see him again. This is it. That's what Sam looked like when I went out to see him. And still I didn't work. I worked another played around another 5 days. And then we did the scene that you've seen the picture. Cotty and Slim was his death scene. It is unbelievable. It's so good.
Great love story in 3 shots.
You bet. Amazing piece of work. We shot that all in one day. And then we finally went back. Both of us didn't have to work the rest of the year because Sam had failed to do his work.
Did you guys, or did Peckinpah have just talking about that scene, where he dies by the river. Was that? Did he have any idea what that was going to turn out to be? That it was going to be that?
Sam did.
Yeah.
We were having a great deal of fun, Jimmy and I, because if you remember, I'm crawling around on the rooftop, and I come down and I get shot, and I'm wearing black BVDs, which was my name, Black.
Yeah.
And that worked fine, and he was very happy. And now it's getting dark, and we couldn't figure out what the hell Sam was going to do. And he set him up. Connie, of course, is a marvelous actress, and she knew what to do. And he waited and waited and waited until, as he loved to do, he had maybe 15 or 20 minutes to do the shot. And if he didn't get it in that period of time, they were going to have to wait 24 hours to do it again. But look at the color in that scene. You practically are in tears before it ever starts. I was in tears because the son of a bitch stole $15,000 from me, and he was discussing all of that period, how he was going to pay me, which of course he never did. But that was Peckinpah.
Did you get in? Speaking of wardrobe, in Ride the High Country, I love that you're wearing the apron. You're the cook of the family, and you're wearing the apron that's like. That was. I don't know if that was your choice.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sam let me alone and would just tell me what he wanted, and I would do that. So every picture that I was with him, with almost everybody, I just got to do wardrobe, and I was when I was doing wardrobe helping, it wasn't wasted money because I was working with Gardy Dawson, who was the best I've ever seen. Gardy was the wardrobe man when we did the Wild Bunch, and he took 47 hampers full of clothes. Normally, in a big picture like that, you might take 3. And he ended up helping Sam direct it. Sam went on to do the #1 show, and he was doing the #2 because it was a question of, remember the big shootout that lasted 15 minutes with all the kids and was at the end of the shot? Well, that was what he was shooting. And most of that Gardy did direct. But it was you do a scene, you do a shot, and you had to lock up for about, maybe an hour, 2 hours, while he got all the wardrobe ready, and you did it again. Because he didn't like something, and they did it again. I love Gardy. He's a talented man. But Sam made a lot of people talented that didn't have it, because you find yourself on an island, and you damn sure better do it. But have you seen any of Sam's or all of Sam's pictures?
Yeah. I've seen everything except Cross of Iron.
Well, that isn't worth seeing.
Oh, I haven't seen that either.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
You know, it's not. I like Sam because he does marvelous work. But he's crazy. I mean, he literally is crazy. But if you look at his stuff, people can't understand and he was crazy, how he's like that. How can you possibly do good work? And it's that Sam has great attention to detail. That's what separates. And if you think you know what attention to detail is, we are on that show, and we were on a big plane, which is gorgeous, and we shot all day for a night. And it's about to go home, and Sam said, he wants to do one more. And we're doing a shot that you'll remember is in the picture where there's Bob Ryan, Paul, Strother, and myself. We are determining what we're going to do. We haven't the slightest idea, but we are planning what we're going to do. Well, we did the master shot on that. That's It's the wrong time of day, but we did it.
This is Wild Bunch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 2 months later, now we had a break, and Sam said, "Okay, we'll do the close-ups." So they, got Bob's, got Paul, got Strother, got mine, and they had a little trouble as it went along. But we finally did, and we got mine, and Sam said, "And about this line, okay, that's a cut." And we said, "Oh shit, who's done it? We're gonna find out." And he started around. He asked the camera what he had done. He asked this, he asked that. Finally got on props, and he said, "Tony, what did you think?" And Tony says, "What? Fine, what's to think? For Christ's sake, if I were LQ, I'd start writing my acceptance speech. Who cares? It's fine." And Sam said, "Really?" And we knew the axe was gonna fall. And he said, "How many beans does LQ have on his plate?" Tony said, "How the hell? I know how many beans he got on his fucking plate." Well, he says he had 8. When we shot the master, he had 13. You're fired. Now we're 2/3 into the picture. All of your props have been supplied by Tony. And Tony says, "I'm going home. You can take this picture and shove it." And they begged and they pleaded, every one of us. Finally, Tony said, "Okay, I'll make this deal. I will not go on the set. I'll send my assistants. But if Peckinpah even trips and falls against my wagon, I'm going home." And that's what we did for the rest of the picture. Because Sam counted the beans.
Wow.
Now that's, you say, "Oh, it's silly." It is silly. That's carried to the up because he was about to make a $5 or $6 million. Well, that's what it was. If we had to start over again, it would have been $5 or $6 million to do it. But attention to detail, and that's what he wanted his crew doing the same thing, actors doing the same thing, and you can't tell someone to do it. You have to show them they have to get their interest, because almost everybody's made so many pictures. You don't think about it.
Right.
But that's the way Sam was. And so many people just detested working with him. I loved it because it really made you think. I mean, but if you work one picture with Sam, you're crazy. Look at me, I did 13.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you something about that. But Sam knew what he was doing, and boy, you had to admire him for that.
Sure.
Even with the crap that went with it. So
Did you when you got well, how'd you get into Ride the High Country? Because that was your first movie with him. So did you go and read for that, or was it offered to you?
no, yeah, but it was one of those things. We did a picture called Annapolis Story, Navy Blue and Gold, John Derrick, who's one of the best looking ladies I've ever seen in my life. Oh yes, he's gorgeous. You put long hair on him, he'd won any beauty contest in the world.
Isn't that Bo Derek's dad?
I think so. But he was an athlete beyond belief. Anyway, we did that, and Sam was helping with dialogue, a coach of sorts, and that was my third picture, and I got it because of Battle Cry. But here's the guy, being Sam, who said, "Kid, I like what you do, and when I start directing, you're going to work with you." "Oh, yes, sir. Thank you." "Oh, yeah. And when I don't know, 2 or 3 years later, I happened to be in my agent's office, and he called up and made the deal for Ride the High Country, and it was Sam.
Let's pause 1 second, just because.
Yeah, wait for those sirens.
Sorry.
We'll
about
wait
that.
till that passes, and we'll do it again.
Sorry about that.
We're still growing in a little bit there.
I just didn't want.
Is that clear?
I didn't want it to drown you out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shall we do that again, or?
Sure, or you can just
Yeah,
resume
so,
if you
yeah.
want.
Sorry, you were saying about how you met Sam Peckinpah.
Okay, so
on-
he said, "I like what you're doing, kid, and when I direct, I'm going to be a big director." Yeah, George. And I was sitting in my agent's office, and he called and made the deal for Ride the High Country. And then after that, I think I worked practically every picture Sam did. I don't know why. I damn sure wasn't cheap. But Sam, he just, like all crazy people, occasionally he had moments of silence, and where it was, you could figure things out. And I think he knew that I would keep an eye on him, because a lot of times he would do things like the how many beans the LQ got in his plate, where we had to draw the line. And like on Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, I'm in for beginning 2 or 3 days, and then I disappear and I show back up for the one scene, and that's it. Well, we did that okay, and I was about ready to go home again because I was making so much money, and who was it? Chris? It may have been Chris. No, that wasn't Chris. Anyway, made up his mind that I was so good that I had to be in the rest of the picture. That meant you had to redraw, you had to rewrite, you had to reshoot the whole thing. Dave Weisbart was the producer, who was one of the nicest men God ever put together, that I worked for on my second picture. And I thought he was going to have a heart attack. Good God, he was looking at an absolute failure with everything. And Sam was going to do it. But that's the way he was. It wasn't because of me. But you learn to get along with him, but you had to say no at certain times. Strother got along with him because he was petrified of him. When we did, what the hell was it? I've forgotten the picture now. But we'd been shooting for about 3 or 4 weeks when Strother came on, and we're in a small motel, and there was no place for Strother to stay. So I said, hell, put him in with me in my suite, but do it. And he decided that as we went along, he wanted Sam to change his dialogue, our dialogue, and he wore a path. Let's say if that's my bed, he was walking that, and he wore the carpet down where you could see where he had walked, trying to tell me that I had to tell Sam to change his dialogue. So, of course, Strother there's nobody as good as Strother ever.